Okay, we're live. It's a learning curve here. Player Profiler News Primetime Friday with Biggs and Chev, and our producer Delco Dave. What's up, everybody in the house? We're gonna do things a little bit differently today. Because we're multiple, right? There's not a whole lot of news. Nobody wants to hear us talk about Justin Tucker getting suspended for 10 games. And guess what? We just did. So that's the NFL news out of the way. We got some other news to talk about, and we'll get to that. Plus, today it's the summer of fish, you guys. It's Scott Fish Bowl 15 launched last weekend on Saturday. Vegas drafts went off. NorCal drafts went off. My NorCal division is about to finish. We're about to hit our last round and sprint through to the finish in the next hour or so. You can see the Scott Fish Bowl live, or the Scott Fish Bowl icon up in the corner of our screen, because we're doing a mock draft today, getting Chev ready, getting other people ready for their live real drafts coming up tomorrow and Sunday. We got Fayetteville. Let's go. Woo Pig. We got North Carolina. Who's out there? Cody Carpentier, Coach Retzlaff, Schultze from the channel. They're going off this weekend, so we're gonna get to that. And because, like I said, we're multiple. You could even say we're polyamorous. Producer, hit that button. All right. So a little bit of news. Not many of you guys out there know this, but my alma mater is a very small school in a town called Russellville, Arkansas, that is most known for the Feltner's Whataburger, which is a very huge burger stop on the I-40 on the way from Little Rock to the games in Fayetteville. And my little school has done absolutely nothing. We were the biggest rival of Scottie Pippen when he was at University of Central Arkansas in Division II. We were named the Wonder Boys because our Wonder Boys beat Alabama in like the 1930s. But Arkansas Tech University has their first NBA player. I want to give a shout out to the Indiana Pacers second round pick 54, Talon Peter, former Arkansas Tech Wonder Boy. We got a professional athlete, folks. So I'm kind of hyped about that. You know,
Chad's thrilled. I actually thought he froze.
So Chev's alma mater is Harding University, which is another school in Arkansas that is a rival of Arkansas Tech. And in fact, this year
wait. What? Rivalry implies that one team wins and then the other team wins sometimes, and there's like a competitive breed that they dislike each other. It's a rivalry in the way that, you know, an ant is a rival to my boot.
Well, this year that played out exactly in the regular season. Arkansas Tech won the conference in baseball, beating Harding. And then
this is a football show, bro.
In the tournament, Harding knocked out Arkansas Tech. That's a rivalry.
I've never seen a Harding baseball game in my entire life, and I'm never going to watch a Harding baseball game. I'm 40 years old.
That's Marlins Rays, man.
I went 40 years. Okay, that's roughly 12,000 days and some change without ever watching a baseball game with Harding. And now you're talking to me about baseball?
I'm talking about collegiate sports. Arkansas Tech versus Harding.
There's no talking about baseball on a football show.
You know what you're going to make me do this weekend? I'm going to go and do a deep dive on the head-to-head results of Harding versus ATU in football over the last 25 years.
You should.
Since that's how long it's been since I was in school there.
You should. It's been about that long.
Everyone, this is my first time watching. I just liked and subscribed. Jamie, are you in the? You are not. Hey, go.
Jamie, get in the draft.
Get in the draft. We got 2 spots left. we got the 9 and the 11. If you're watching and you would like to participate in this mock draft, which is about to go off, go ahead and go to my Twitter at BigBonedFFB. That's BIGBONEDEDFFB, and secure your draft slot now. All right, but I said that we were gonna be poly this episode, and so I want to bring everybody's attention to something. As you all know, all you regular viewer, Jamie, know this show is brought to you every week by Fast Draft. If you like to draft and you want to draft faster with Fast Draft. Use promo code BOOTH for a $50 deposit match. Go do that now because we have a great new game. It's called the Rabbit, and our producer has put together some slides to kind of promote this. So let's do that. You see the Rabbit, it's a $20 best ball tournament. You get 15 roster spots. There's 7 bench spots. It picks your 6 best scores, 1 at quarterback, 2 best at running back, 2 best at wide receiver, 8 best scores, 2 at wide receiver, 1 at tight end, 2 at flex. You guys know how best ball works. And $50,000 to be given out in prizes. It's a $20 entry. So if you go now and you get you download at fastdraft.app, you go ahead and do the deposit match. Use code BOOTH, or you can do Chev90, CHEV90 if you'd like, and get that $50 deposit match. That's $100. That's 5 Rabbit entries. See what you can do in these best ball streets against some of the top players in the game. We got Jagger May running in the Rabbit. We got the Podfather himself, Matt Kelly, founder of Fast Draft. He's in there. A lot of sharps, so see what you can do. And we are full now in this mock draft. Do you have that mock draft ready to go?
I don't have that mock draft up. I thought you were going to send it to me, not on Twitter. So give me
Hey, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We can get this fixed real quick. Just hang on.
There we go.
I
am in the mock draft though. I have the 9 spot.
Look at this forehead. I'd be knowing.
Look at this forehead. I'd be knowing. It's crazy. Are you you send it to him, Biggs?
Nope. He can.
I'm signing into X right now.
Hang on. Okay. All right.
Did I not send it to you?
I just emailed it to you, bud.
Sorry.
Got you.
The series
we're all learning
will get
here.
it there shortly.
We're all learning here. So, anyways, Arkansas Tech University has their first NBA player. Now, granted, he was a transfer to Liberty. He wasn't drafted out of a D2 school. He was a transfer to Liberty and drafted from Liberty. But he got his start there. It's kind of like Cam Skattebo got his start at Sacramento State, or Joshua Kelly got his start at UC Davis, or any one of myriad stories like that.
I wish I had more thumbs so I can give that story 4 thumbs down.
Okay, I don't know what's happening with this draft board, but I don't like it.
First of all, you got light mode on. What kind of activity is that?
Who does that? It's a learning process, everybody. It's a learning process. We're going through the growing pains.
So light mode, I have it on all my desktop stuff for every best ball app I'm on, but then I have dark mode on my phone and all of them. I don't know why I do it that way.
I don't know either.
Usually people that
willfully use light mode are on some sort of registry.
They're on the light mode registry.
Yeah, there's a list of you guys. That and the people who ask more than 20 questions a day to Chat GPT.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and do this. We're going to lean into experience and
experience illumination. All right, hold on. I got this, guys.
No, I got it. Here we go.
No, I got it.
All right, there it is. All right, and we start this mock draft. 30-second clock. I am first on the clock.
You're just taking the 1 spot now because you're all drafted up.
the motto of Scott Fishbowl is you're not going to win, so just have fun. And what's more fun than this?
Well, I would tell you what's more fun than this. It was the mock draft that I won last Friday.
Oh, we went over that, and it's never happened in the history of
my
my life.
I mean, it definitely happened.
Nope. So
Dirty Dave was there,
and I just won this one. So
Dirty Dave was there. He's here right now. He might even win this one.
I just won again.
Yeah, I'm in this one. It's a triple threat match between the three of us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you got, and Greinberg doesn't know it's on a 30-second clock, so he takes Bijan Robinson, which is the chalk 101 pick, but I have more fun. And at some point,
You've already lost. Oh, it's great. Oh, this is so good.
I remain undefeated. And so if we want to talk some strategy here, we had a mock draft last Friday, and then the next day, the following day, Saturday, I did the first 10 rounds of my real draft. So I have that Zion Penumbra. That's a fantastic name. That's almost as fantastic as the name that I've seen online somewhere. That's Carnage Asada. But he said, "Hey, Mr. Undefeated, how you guys doing? We're doing pretty good." So at some point through this draft, I'm gonna call up my draft board from my own Scott Fishbowl experience and show you how I did out of the 10 spot. Talk about the strategy and stuff like that. It's pretty fundamental to get things started. There goes McBride. I'm gonna pop off real quick and deal with my.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
I wonder how early Travis Hunter went in his actual draft that he wanted to take him at the 101 in the mock.
Oh, in the actual draft, I think he went like 30. I think he went like in the third round.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like, I was gonna do that. I was watching the stream. It was pretty cool. So Here we are. I just took Derrick Henry because touches are king this year, and there is no one who's probably going to get more touches than Derrick Henry, on the hunt to becoming the first running back ever to rush for 2,000 yards in multiple seasons. He's one of 4 running backs to ever rush for 1,500 yards 4 times. Yeah, we're just waiting on the gold jacket at this point. After me, Ashton Genty, Delco Dave goes with Justin Jefferson. And then we've got, who is this guy? Who's this character here? It's a weird name. I don't know what this says.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
Andy's back.
PJ Haffey. PJ Haffey goes Lamar Jackson, Brock Bowers, and now pick 12, turn pick. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do?
What I want to know is why Brock Bowers lasted till the 11 in this one and not in mine.
Is it, I mean, like, how much is the tight end premium?
On a first down pass over 10 yards, 4.5 points.
Oh,
before yards are added.
Oh,
yeah.
Go Birds, baby.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. I actually do have an autographed Ryan Matthews jersey. It's actually right here.
So with Zion Penumbra in the chat, Fly Eagles Fly, and Philadelphia in this, and Delco Day, we have too many Eagles fans here.
Yeah.
Eagles fans.
Yeah, Philly's represented strong.
It's like the bandwagon just got bigger sometime in February.
The odds?
89 since 89, baby.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, autographed Ryan Matthews jersey.
Love it.
Oh, I can do that too.
I don't want to. It's not what I wanted. All right.
You're on the clock, Jeff.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Yeah. I've adopted the Cam Ward School of Trash Talk where I can talk trash and do whatever I'm doing at the same time. Call it ward tasking.
Sorry about that earthquake. It's a little rough getting around this office because I had to move all my patio into the office. Jalen Mills, autograph. Green Goblin, baby. So
hey, us Eagles fans complete felonies in flocks.
All right. Greinberg, don't go on auto this time. I don't know if
Mike,
you're watching.
Be a good user. What's that about?
I hate 30-second clocks, but I kind of had to because I have to go to work, and
That's
11
fair.
rounds is going to take
about 40 minutes, give or take. Let me see.
Do you like longer or shorter clocks, Biggs?
I like I like shorter clocks, but
Okay.
That L is doing a lot of lifting in that clock.
Too early for that. I don't see any value here.
Don't screw that up. Ooh, you went Travis Hunter and Ladidi McConkey.
Correct.
Interesting.
I wanted a running back there, but Kyron was the only one in range that I was willing to pull the trigger on in the second round. Because they were all gone. So what I've seen from these mock drafts is, like, as we go on and as we've gotten some of the live drafts out of the way, NorCal, Las Vegas, Cincinnati, etc., running backs are starting to get hammered. Quarterbacks are seriously falling.
It's beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, Jalen Hurts in the third round. Are you kidding me?
This Scott Fishbowl stuff is wild. I haven't seen. I've done over 200 best ball drafts already, and haven't had a single start that was Jefferson, Neighbors, Nico Collins.
Yeah, the Scott Fishbowl, the math gets changed.
Yes, Zion Penumbra. Everybody is sleeping on Breece Hall, except for Chev and I. I got him in my real draft. Chev just took him in the third round. That's perfect. That's the perfect spot. If you are in the third round, you smash Breece Hall. Yeah. I did not, because I was still in the second round.
Because reasons.
But I got to double tap real quick here, and I know exactly what I'm going to do
here. Yeah, let's see what you do here. Yeah, Mr. Big Brain. Let's see what you do here, Big's Brain. Ooh.
I be knowing. I'm just waiting on Greinberg to snipe me.
Oh, man. The Greinberg is the worst to be next to in a draft, because I don't know what it is. I don't know if the Canadian Wi-Fi gives him mind control powers or mind reading powers, because every time you get close to it, it's like, oh, I was thinking about taking that player. Guess he was kind enough to auto us. Damn it.
No, what Greinberg does is he listens, because he's on all our shows.
I don't want to do this draft anymore. If you're just gonna double tap tight end right there.
Well, the running back value was all gone. So that's the problem with being on the front end of this draft. You're gonna get one
checks notes, James Cook.
You're gonna get one fully elite player, and then you're going to wait. If you are in the back half with the third round reversal at the 10, the 11, the 12, you're going to get 3 players in the top 27.
13 seconds. Oh, I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do.
And John Benet, can I get some advice, brothers? I have Shedeur, and I've been offered two quarterback dynasty. I have Caleb and Dak. Is this a smash? It absolutely is. My odds on Shedeur Sanders seeing the field in the NFL is 50-50. I think there's just as much chance he never does as he does. And sorry, I'm used to pushing buttons. Sorry. What about in the middle? I'm hands off. Think it's most difficult to draft there? No. I actually like the 6 and the 7 spot. I had those the last couple of years, and what I found drafting from the 10 this year is I really don't like the weight still. You do get an advantage with the third round reversal, but then after that, and when you get into the middle and later rounds, it's a long waiting 18, 20 picks before you get to go again. I do like, being able to get 2 out of 5 on the turn. But so essentially my advice to everybody is to create your tiers. Pick 10 players that you're willing to draft at whatever spot you're at. I'm going to do a show at some point on probably on my Unhinged show. And essentially, it's going to be how to never get sniped again. And getting sniped is a mindset. And I'm going to go into further detail on it. But getting sniped is all in your head. because if you are drafting correctly, you will never be sniped, because no one will ever take all of the players that you want at a certain spot. If you set up your projections and your draft tiers correctly, and then it's just, I figured this out in these last rounds of the Scott Fish Bowl draft, because I was waiting 18 picks and nobody took my guys because my tiers were different, and that was nice. All right, we're gonna double tap one more time. Let's go. Oh, this one's beautiful. Hello.
Whoa.
And I'm still in the pocket. Y'all. Don't snipe me. I'll snipe you in the 6th round.
Don't snipe me.
Did I do that?
Don't snipe me.
We had the same. Okay, so now Greinberg is fully on auto pick. We got another guy on auto pick who's sitting at 6 wide receivers to start. And we saw that last night in the show that we did.
You didn't snipe Zion. He said no.
All right. Well, then let's see if somebody else snipes him.
Also, I'm not sure sniping is just getting sniped is just a mindset. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have that Chase Higgins stack coming out of the one hole that miss out on Burrow because somebody takes a naked Joe Burrow past ADP right before they pick.
Yeah.
Hey, still, it's a mindset. So what I'm thinking right now is that Zion Penumbra, maybe that's Philadelphia, and you changed your YouTube handle. Is that correct? Let me know in the comments if I'm correct.
I think
also,
his street name is actually Slevin Kalevra.
if you're in the comments, go ahead and like and subscribe, hit the bell and all that stuff. If you want to see more of this pretty face, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you want to punch Delco Dave in his stupid face, go ahead and like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Is that a promo we're doing?
Cut that into a short and all right. We had we're a little bit thin on the running back in that last go round. There goes Aaron Jones. I really like Aaron Jones in this format. I like Jordan Mason too as a backup, but not until you get past round 12. I just like Aaron Jones' pass catching ability and the fact that he's running it back. He's the primary RB in that system, and as long as he stays healthy, even though he's almost my age, he should be okay. And Caleb was one of my plans going into this next double tap. So that doesn't make me feel good.
He's been high on my draft board. I've been making sure I get up my exposure on him on Fast Draft in the Flex 4, and just did my first rabbit today. So, I like Caleb, man.
So we got into a conversation last night on our show about Caleb Johnson, and we were getting some pushback from Greinberg. And so I did a little bit more digging today, and I looked at Bijan Robinson's rookie season and Arthur Smith's offense. I looked at what Najee Harris did with Mike Tomlin. And in both cases, they are running back smashes. So you had Najee Harris with 300 carries under Mike Tomlin and as a rookie. And Mike was trying to say, well, it's Tomlin, so you never know what's going to – yeah, we know what's going to happen. If he has a bowling ball like Caleb Johnson, he's going to get 300 carries. And then Bijan only had 200, but that was because Tyler Algier was there, who was coming off his own huge between the tackles season, and Arthur Smith was trying to get cute because that's what Arthur Smith does. And I don't think Arthur Smith is going to do that this year. I think it's going to be Caleb Johnson with the rock as often as they possibly can.
No, don't tell me somebody actually took Justin Fields. Really, guys? Really?
Yeah, Philadelphia did.
Super cool. Love that for you.
Eagles fan.
Love that for you. What I don't love is not having Justin Fields on my roster and somebody else having Justin Fields on my roster.
Fair. That's fair.
Now I'm going to have to take hashtag Hella NorCal Jared Goff.
Hella NorCal. Second best football player born in Novato, California.
Yeah, don't you guys dare snipe me on Jared Goff, guys. Please. Please.
No.
No, I don't know what I'll do if you take Jared Goff. Please.
I'm gonna say that the saddest part about this mock draft that we're doing is that this is exactly kind of how I wanted it to play out,
Same.
and it
Same.
didn't in real life. I
Oh,
wanted
the one you did live, you wanted it to play out this way and it didn't?
Yeah, I wanted to punt quarterback. I wanted top tier tight ends at the beginning. I wanted one of McBride or Bowers in the in the first, and I could have had Bowers in the first, or Genty. I wanted Hunter in the second. McConkey is like kind of a booby prize, and then these middle running back values are absolutely enormous. I did get I want to say Judkins and Harris in real life, but I also had Breece Hall and somebody else. We can talk about that in a little bit. But
you guys both seem high on Breece. I actually really like Braylon Allen at his cheap price tag right now.
I mean, you're coming from it with a smash and best ball attitude. We're kind of more on the dynasty side of it, and when you got a youngish top 5 ceiling, I mean, you gotta roll with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm seeing no more singular starting running back. So now it's time to hit 100+ target wide receivers. Maybe go a tight end here. Nope. Here we go. Okay. All right, and I wanted to punt quarterback until at least the 9th or 10th round in the real one, and Jaden Daniels was my first pick because that's how the board played.
That's fair.
That was upsetting.
Oh, let me get back to the draft. Allow me to get back to the draft because it's time to break some people's hearts. Actually, this pick's probably not going to bother anybody, which is fine, but we're gonna build out running backs and tight ends, baby.
So I'm looking through the chat in the draft room, and Philadelphia says 101 Hunter way to something, and then Trey season. I don't know what that means. And then Chev killing me with May and Swift. So apparently you killed somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it was an Applebee's. It was the 90s.
It was the
murder.
Emildale. Trey season. Who is Trey, Philadelphia?
I think he's talking about Travion Henderson.
Oh, Travion. Yes. It's real good.
Or all of the guys with Trey at the beginning of their names. Because it could be that.
Not Tre'Davious White. He's not even available to be drafted.
Can't draft him.
Yeah, I love Cedric Tillman this year, man. Great pick.
Same.
Me too.
All formats. I love Cedric Tillman's one of my favorite picks.
I have 0 Jerry Jeudy shares. I have so many Cedric Tillman shares.
Decadent Dave, I'll send you a screenshot of my current ownership of Cedric Tillman. It's skyrocketed.
That's a good one, Decadent Dave.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm impressed with the amount of D adjectives he's come up with in like the last 90 minutes.
Dude, if you give me a couple more hours, bro, I'll fill out a thesaurus.
Chev is an alliteration monster. And Philadelphia says Trey McBride is who he means. So yeah, so it's all of the Treys. Trey Harris, Trey McBride, Trey Vion. There's more.
The story with McBride and Bowers is the same. They both just need positive touchdown regression. Like Correct. They both had great seasons, just need more touchdowns. So if you want to tell me you like McBride over Bowers, I'd take it.
there's a real cognitive dissonance between the two because one, we all know tight ends don't ever hit their prime until like 31. So you got two young pups, Brock Bowers, record-breaking season. Depending on who you ask, maybe the most complete, prospect that you've ever viewed as a tight end. And then you got Trey McBride, who, probably would have broken the reception record if he played 17 games.
Yeah.
Like that's,
oh no, I didn't mean to do that so quickly. Crap.
What?
I was trying to keep. Nope, that's not that one. What is happening?
Oh no, Brett, go to completed.
I don't know what's happening. All right, there we go. I muted it and everything. What? No, I did it. Why is it?
Oh, I couldn't be happier with this tight end haul though. If we, if I don't get McBride or Bowers to be able to come back with Jonnu, Tucker Kraft, and Pat Freiermuth. Where are you at? Dirty D, where are you at on Pat Freiermuth? Let's put you on the grill for a second. I want to know what your take is on Pat Freiermuth this year.
So I like Freiermuth overall as a player. Arthur Smith always scares me with his player usage. You know what I mean? Even when he has Kyle Pitts, he's rolling Jonnu Smith out there all the time, who Jonnu had a breakout with Miami, obviously. But Arthur Smith, I don't know if he always puts his guys in the best position. I guess pass catchers. He designs a great running game, which is why I like Caleb Johnson. But as far as, the pass catchers go, I mean, how often is he going to put Darnell Washington out there?
Yeah.
Right. I'm in on Freiermuth this year. I think he's going to be like, you have to look at who the other targets for Aaron Rodgers are. Aaron Rodgers is not going to want to sit back and just hand off the ball to Caleb Johnson and Tyler Warren. He's going to want to get loose, and he's got DK and Calvin. And I mean, are we looking for a huge Roman Wilson season over Pat Freiermuth? So I'm big on Freiermuth this year.
I mean, I go back to Aaron Rodgers' usage of the tight end early on in his career, and then later with Robert Tonyan. He got Robert Tonyan to 11 touchdowns. Freiermuth coming off tying his career high with 7 touchdowns. I think we could hit double-digit touchdowns with Freiermuth, another 60 reception season on 80 targets.
Yeah,
I'll take that bet, especially with the scoring format here. The one that makes me the most nervous is Jonnu Smith. I just feel like they're going to change. So, and you guys can tell me your thoughts. They changed the way that they played offense because everybody was playing too high shell and they couldn't run the ball, so they had to throw it underneath a whole bunch. They might change back. And nobody's factoring that in. Well, actually, people are factoring it into Jalen Waddle's price, but not Tyreek Hill's price. All that, again, another set of cognitive dissonance. It just doesn't make sense. If you're in on Waddle, you by proxy have to be in on Tyreek Hill, and then you also have to be in on Tua.
So you're saying that like this team, Miami is poly.
Yeah, it's a tangled love web that we weave.
So I like Jonnu Smith, and I like him at cost. I think he's not being overvalued based on his ceiling. He was a great call last year for some of us when we were like, look, whenever he's been the lone guy, he's been okay. And that's usually when he's in a tandem system and the other guy gets hurt. He's had some spike games over the last 4 or 5 years, but he's never really been in a situation where he was the only guy. He's always had a partner in the tight end game. Last year in Miami, they didn't need to do the previous Miami stuff because they had Jonnu and he's elite. So I think even if he falls off just a little bit, he's still going to be in that top 10 tier. And I'm not scared of that.
I think everything of that Miami offense is just dependent on Tua's health. If Tua's healthy and they can run their offense the way they want to, I think everybody's going to pay off their price tag. But if Tua goes down and they got to play quarterback roulette like they did last year, it'll be difficult.
So Zion Penumbra thinks that Hill will finish as a top 12 wide receiver easy if not inside the top 10. People sleeping on him
Easy.
in the 3rd or 4th round in a redraft superflex. I don't hate him in a 4th round. I just don't. I think if you look at his efficiency last year, you want to blame it on his wrist injury, I don't think that you can. I think it's a matter of the way that defenses played Miami, and I think that they're going to continue that because they don't want to get beat by Tyreek Hill. And he had 50 fewer targets last year than he did the previous year in more games and more routes. Like that's efficient. That's an efficiency drop that I think we have to account for. And it can't just be due to his wrist. It has to be a combination of a changing game plan, Mike McDaniel's being adaptive, defenses focusing on not being beat by Tyreek Hill, which they will continue to do as long as he's on the field, other weapons being in that Miami offense. And then also he's getting older. He's a speed guy. He's a speed merchant. You see guys who are speed merchants, they fall off pretty quickly. You see a guy like Jerry Rice who doesn't win with speed, he wins with his brain. He lasts a lot longer in the NFL. Devontae Adams, similar situation. He doesn't beat people with speed. He beats people with smarts, his route running abilities, the ways that he sets up cornerbacks to beat them and make space. That's how he wins. He doesn't burn people. Tyreek Hill has never really been that. He's won his routes with quickness. But as soon as you start losing a step because of a career worth of sprained ankles and pulled hamstrings and stuff, that's when his efficiency starts to fall. And I think we saw that a lot last year. So I'm not out on Tyreek Hill because I'm not out on anybody at the right price. I'm just not going to pay more than a 4th round pick for Tyreek Hill and expect that he's going to jump in as a wide receiver 1. I just don't see it happening again. Unless
it's such a tough bet to make because of the fact that, he went from 4th in first read target share in 2023. You hit the nail on the head talking about how his targets declined despite running more routes. And then he goes to 38th in first read target share in 2024. I think he's still really fast. I'm going to do this segment as Wilson from Home Improvement, apparently. So, so I think that everything, I don't know that there's any reason to believe that he can go back to the 2023 Tyreek Hill. I don't know that the physical tools have declined. I just think that, Mike McDaniel's alluded to players showing up late, players not really being bought in, and then him shifting the game plan away from Tyreek Hill because I think that's who he was talking about and more focusing on Devon Achane and Jonnu Smith and guys like that. That was a focus. That was by design. I mean, Tyreek Hill just ran like a 10-1-5 and 100 at 31 years old.
Right.
Like he's still super fast. Yeah.
Right. And that's why I said any combination of. So, and then
I'm with you though. I just wanted to make sure. I agree. I'm just saying, like, I think it's more political than it is actual physical decline.
But that has to be something that you take into consideration. And to Zion Penumbra's point that maybe he hasn't lost a step, you have to look at the evolving offense, the way that Mike McDaniel had adapted the offense to fit around defenses trying to account for Tyreek Hill. So essentially, and we've talked about this on other shows before, and probably this one, you have to kind of approach this stuff with scientific methodology, right? You have to start with your hypothesis. Your hypothesis is that Tyreek Hill is going to finish as a top 10 wide receiver. And then you have to attack that hypothesis with every gun that you have to try and break down that assertion. And there are too many reasons to balk at Tyreek Hill finishing in the top 10. There are far more reasons than to just say, well, he's done it before, so he's going to do it again at 31, 32 years old, whatever he is, in an evolving NFL. And that's kind of where I'm coming at it from. Like, I'm not saying there's a 0 chance that Tyreek Hill returns to his past form. I'm just saying that the likelihood of it, when I look at it on balance, there are too many factors working against that happening, rather than just saying, like, Tyreek Hill was elite 3 years ago and he's going to do it again. Yeah. Obviously, the guy wants to go for 2,000 yards at some point in his career. But are all of the stars going to align so that he can do that? Because it's never happened before. Can he get to 1,600? Maybe. Are all the stars going to align to do that? I'm not willing to bet on that. Especially when there are other guys out there who are going to hit that 150 target mark when Tyreek Hill just fell to 120 last year in 500 routes run. It's just like, yeah, there are too many reasons to believe it's not going to happen for me to believe it will, even though I'm not saying it's not going to.
Right. If you never stopping, then you don't ever begin. But if you don't ever begin, then you can never stop when you started what you
never
stopped.
Never stop it.
You can tell it's June. We don't have a ton to talk about.
Right. So looking over a couple of these builds that aren't mine, because obviously, like, I'm running away with this thing again. That 6 wide receiver start is pretty huge. I like the four running back start. Maybe not as high on Mixon as, maybe I would have probably gone Kenneth Walker over Mixon in that case. And then there aren't a whole lot of big RB builds except for Jamie, Christian McCaffrey, Kamara, Pacheco.
Respect me.
I'm getting there. Brian Robinson and Roshan. Of course, he took Roshan.
You ever just taken some money out of your pocket and thrown it on the ground on purpose?
If there's anybody out there who's as high on Roshan as me, it might be Jamie.
I just sometimes when I think about drafting Roshan, I'll have change in my pocket and then I just take it and I just throw it as high as I can in the air and I just walk away. That's what it feels like to draft Roshan.
That reminds me of my favorite religious joke that I'm not going to say on YouTube Live. But starting off, Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, Breece Hall, that's a banger. You can
I was really hoping that you would let me come back with George Kittle in the 4th, bud.
Oh, that wasn't going to happen.
I see that.
It didn't happen. He led tight ends in points per game last year. He just needs to stay on the field for all 17 of them. And on top of that, San Francisco 49ers have the easiest schedule in all of the NFL this year.
Not enough people are talking about that, actually.
No.
You have a couple of historical situations in that somebody did a breakdown or is starting to break down the number of rest days a team has going into their game versus the other team. And last year, the 49ers had an historical disadvantage in the amount of rest per game that they had versus their opponent. This year, the Lions and the Raiders have the worst. There's like one game that they have where they have more rest than their opponent. Otherwise, they're trash. And you look at what the Niners did last year. They were a proposed Super Bowl team, and due to injuries, they fell off a cliff. So if you want to attribute that to something, let's look at how much rest they're getting versus their opponents. They're back up in the positive in that respect this year. So, and on top of that, they have the easiest schedule. So I'm huge, especially in best ball. I'm huge on the stack of Brock Purdy, Isaac Guerrero. Christian McCaffrey is still a little expensive for me, but Juwan Jennings and George Kittle, just like give me those 4 guys and let me run away with it.
So the Lions have a lot. The Lions don't have a lot of rest days between their games either.
Not versus their opponents. And the Raiders and Lions this year are historically at a disadvantage. Are at an historic disadvantage, like bottom 5 ever in terms of the years of the study, and the Raiders are the worst.
So you heard it here first. Big said fade the Lions, guys.
Didn't say that. Didn't say
fade the Lions outside of JMO.
Oh, Jameson Williams is a flag plant for me. Yeah. So a couple of minutes left here. Talk about your team. Because obviously, if we rolled into the real life Scott Fish Bowl with this, Chev and I would come out 1-2.
For sure. I would come out. I would make sure, like, you could be Cal Naughton Jr. and I'm Ricky Bobby. So
no.
basically, I'll slingshot you at some point one day, but right now I'm getting slingshotted. Let's not even start with that nonsense. So yeah, I'm really excited about the running back build. If it falls this way on Sunday, I would be absolutely tickled pink. I really think that I might switch out Breece Hall for George Kittle in this format.
I would advise that.
Yeah, I have some aggressive visions about what I think Breece Hall is going to do this year.
Same. And we're in lockstep on that. We have been for a while. There are some things that we are completely in lockstep on. You've brought me up to certain spots. I feel like I've done the same for you. In the 20th round, 19th round.
How many rounds is it in the real thing?
21.
21. 21.
In the 19th round, 8 picks before I got to, somebody snatched Dante Thornton out of my hands. And
I think I've got to figure out a way to have my queue, because just like anybody, you get into the draft and you get sniped and you get frazzled. If you don't have your queue set and like have it ordered, that's one of the biggest things I like going into the draft and having done, is like having the queue set. Even if, like, so you got the tiers set up, just Biggs alluded to this earlier. Like, you have to have a plan when you're on the clock, because nothing feels worse than just taking the player that's the best available by ADP and then realizing what a blunder that you've made. Nothing will make you want to kick a puppy or club a seal more than that. It's just not a good feeling. So I'm going to do some deep thought and consternation, and then I'm probably going to go into my draft room tonight and set a bunch of people in the queue.
That's what I did, and that's how I came out with Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors as my 1-2, because I had it set up in points projections, and by the time I got to 10, Jaden Daniels was still the highest on my draft board. He was, I want to say, 7th in projected points, so that was an easy click because I couldn't get Genty, McBride, or Bowers because they were gone.
You had 11?
I had 10.
So
then as the turn comes around, my plan was to go with Hunter at the 203 and Bo McBrayer, shout out Bo McBigtime. He took him at the 201, and I was like, oh God, I'm about to stab you with this fork. So, the plan didn't work out, and that's kind of how you have to look at it. Like, am I happy with Malik Neighbors at the 203? Of course. Was it my intended target? No, but you can't be mad at like 150 to 170 targets from a wide receiver. I mean, going with an arm jump from Daniel Jones to Russell Wilson or Jackson Dart, like you can't be mad at that, right?
Nasty
if I had,
yeah. I mean, we're making volume plays, like touch plays, right? Like that's the name of the game, right? So yeah, you can't be upset. You can't be upset, Malik Neighbors. He set the record for target share. I almost cursed just now because I forgot where we were. And I was like, I gotta sit back up because I'm getting too relaxed. Like,
that's what they say this year. So a couple of tips for you guys who are going into your live drafts. Volume is the key for this year's scoring system. So when you're targeting guys in the first 11 rounds, what you're doing is you're filling out your roster with players that are getting points, and those points are going to be based on volume. So you want your guys who you're projecting for 250 plus carries at the running back position, 100 plus targets at the tight end position. You want running quarterbacks. There are 2 super flex spots, and you don't have to have a quarterback. So if you fall out of that top 4 of Allen, Jackson, Allen, Jackson, Daniels, and Hurts, if you fall out of that, go ahead and punt quarterback for a while, because you're still going to get some upside later in Justin Fields, in Bo Nix, some guys that are going to run with the ball, but you don't have to waste those spots immediately. Even though it's Superflex, we have this take lock in Superflex where I got to get out of the first 4 rounds with 2 quarterbacks. You don't have to do that in this format. So target those 250 carry running backs. if it's going to be a guy like Achan who's going to get 200 targets, or 200 carries, you're going to want 60 to 70 targets. So your Brees Halls, your Bijan might get up there this year. Jahmyr Gibbs, of course. And then when you get into the middle rounds, what I've seen a lot in the mocks and stuff is people doing things like drafting Brandon Ayuk within their first 11 players. What you're doing is you're allowing all 11 people in your division to now go ahead and take players that are immediately going to be giving them points while you're going to be waiting 8 weeks. What's that? Yeah.
You're not making the tournament if you do that.
Right.
You're actively taking a guy who's not going to help you for at least 4 weeks, maybe more. We're trying to get in the tournament here. Like, I understand it's probably not going to happen. I suck at these types of formats. That's why I'm so excited to be doing this and talking to somebody who's done it a few times. I'm probably gonna have to join Coupe Fiasco, Andrew Cooper's OnlyFans, to get some tight end secrets, like the secrets of the dojo. But yeah, drafting Brandon Ayuk is real dumb in this format.
Coupe Fiasco's grade on that Foot website is pretty high too. So so just a quick rundown of my draft. I went with Jaden Daniels, running quarterback. He's going to be high production.
Time out, Brendan. Put it on the screen, please.
I can't.
You can't?
Well, I can, but it's going to... Okay, fine.
He twisted his arm.
I do.
Yeah. I've never drafted in this format before either, so I'm excited for it. I'm going to have to turn off my best ball brain because, like I said, I saw Jefferson, Nico. I don't even remember who shit. Was it Neighbors? I 3 great receivers.
Hold on. I got you. Yeah. Nico Collins, Malik Neighbors, and Justin Jefferson were your first 3 picks.
Yeah, I'm like, haven't seen it in a single best ball lobby this entire summer. So I'm like, this is awesome.
Well, that's the best thing about the Scott Fish Bowl is because he changes the format every year. Nobody's drafted like this before. Like with last year, nobody drafted like that either because of the kick return points. And, like his first turbo boosting tight ends happened 3 years ago. Nobody had ever drafted like that. So it's what keeps it fun. So
premium.
If you can see, I don't know how to embiggen this or zoom or whatever, but so I went Jaden Daniels first, high productive running quarterback. Malik Neighbors, number 2. He's going to be a target hog in that offense. Brees Hall in the 3rd round, which I think is a smash, especially since he's carried top 5 upside as a running back throughout his career. Garrett Wilson in the 4th. I've flag planted the 4 main Jets as top 10 finishers: Fields, Wilson, Mason, Taylor, and Brees Hall. I know it sounds crazy. But there's a method to the madness. Shout out Coupe Fiasco. In the 5th, I took Quinshawn because he's going to get the lion's share of the carries in Cleveland, and we know what he can do. Caleb Johnson in the 6th. Mark Andrews in the 7th because of the tight end premium. He's going to have a fully healthy season. If we forget, he didn't do well the first 4 weeks of the season last year because he was coming off an off-season car accident. It definitely hampered him.
Surgery.
Yeah, and he had surgery, and he missed a couple games. He didn't do well in a couple other games. But the 13 games after he came back, he was a top 5 tight end in points per game. Yeah. Najee Harris at the 8, 4 years in a row, over 250 carries, over 1,000 yards. I like that consistency, and I don't think the Chargers are dumb enough to move away from that. Calvin Ridley in the 9th. So now we're talking the 9th, 10th, and 11th round. So we're still in the format where we're filling our roster with points producers. And what I'm looking for out of a wide receiver is the wide receiver 1 in the room, the main target receiver in that room. So I went with Calvin Ridley. My only hiccup, then I went with Geno Smith because I think he has a huge bounce back year. In the 11th, my only hiccup, Jaden Higgins. I don't know why I did it. I don't remember who else was on the board. I can look real quick.
We can look real quick and see. Debo, Zach Charbonnet, Jordan Mason, J.P. Mason. That looks like Matthew Stafford, Javonte Williams, Bryce Young. Is that Anthony Richardson? Colston Lover, that block of tight ends right there. That's real nice. Pat Fryermuth, Nasty Muth.
I think what it is I looking at who was there, except for Freiermuth, I think everybody else that was available is a backup, and I think we were out of starter range, and I think that's why I did it. So
I'm paying attention. I'm literally setting my cue for the draft Sunday.
I guess it wasn't terrible, because if you look at the picks right after it, Debo is not the wide receiver 1, Charbonnet is not the RB1, Jordan Mason isn't the RB1. I already had 2 quarterbacks, so I didn't need Stafford. Javonte may be the running back 1 in that room, so that I could have done that. Young and Richardson are quarterbacks. Loveland, not the lead pass catcher. Goddard, he's 3rd in targets. Isaiah Likely, tight end 2. Pat Freiermuth, maybe. Igbuka, no. Darnell Mooney's not I like him in the 12th, not the 11th. So I think I'm okay. I think that's the one pick I'm not happy about, but I think it's okay. So
you don't really worry about stacking in this then at all, like, because I'm thinking Daniels with Debo's, but why I would have probably went the other way.
I don't worry about stacking, except for stacking doesn't really carry over in this format very much until the playoffs.
Okay.
So if I'm looking at a stack like in Underdog right now, I love the Raiders and I love the 49ers because of their week 17 schedules. And so I was trying to go with Geno. See, that's why I wanted Brock Bowers so bad, because I knew I wanted Geno, and I was going to try and do Brock Bowers and Geno and Dante Thornton and Jacoby Myers, and but that all got blown up. So I go Higgins, and then it's backup season. So Tyjae Spears, and then Hunter Henry was still there, and he's like a good tight end. I went with Dart because I think at some point he takes over. I don't need him until week 10, and there's also waivers, so I can get a different quarterback. Then I was in full backup mode. Tyler Algier as a handcuff, DJ Giddens as a handcuff, Elijah Arroyo if he breaks out, Taj Brooks as a handcuff, Jordan James as a handcuff, Oronde Gadsden upside, and Michael Mayer as a handcuff. So if anything happens to those primary elite guys, I have the guys that slide in right behind them. We are now in the last round. Sorry, it's 22 rounds. We're now in the last round. I've got 11 picks until mine, and Chev knows who's in my queue.
Oronde Gadsden.
No, I already have him.
Wait, you do?
Yeah.
You already have him?
I got like Gadsden in the 20th.
Snip, snap, snip, snap.
I don't think Conklin and Disley are much competition, so I actually like Gadsden.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a pro Gadsden operation, bud. If you didn't like Gadsden, I'd be like, hey, Alex, let's get somebody else in here. We got to get somebody who likes football and likes people who are good at football in here.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say my 22nd round pick because I know that
fans watching, bro. You can't be putting that out there. Lie about your 22nd round pick. That's what we're gonna do right now.
Yeah,
the 22nd round pick. The Bigs Bombers select Justin Tucker, massage enthusiast.
Bring the show full circle.
Massage aficionado. Yeah. So, Chev, good luck tomorrow. Make sure you say hi to my boy Will Hendricks.
Sunday.
We got some weird connections here. All right, so some of my friends from Russellville, Arkansas, moved to Lincoln, Nebraska. One of them was Will Hendricks, and he is now in Chev's division in the Fayetteville draft. Delco Dave, erstwhile of Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah,
is he coming to the draft?
Yeah, he'll be there. He's in your division.
Well, I know. Well, like there was like a 20% chance that I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna do a live draft. So like maybe he just decides he doesn't want to drop from Lincoln and then come up here.
No, nobody does that. If you're in a live, you go to your live.
That. I have a crippling it will cripple me. It's like, man, I really don't want to go do this thing that I got to do. And I'll just be like, I don't want to do it.
Nothing feels better than canceling plans these days.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
The only advice I have for specifically the Fayetteville division is make sure you're willing to pay up on Hunter Henry and Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, I'm going to use that to my advantage because I don't believe in Arkansas players ever. So
kind of like the draft in my home league when I took George Pickens with the 101 and got to watch my Steelers fan friend react.
Meltdown.
Yeah.
I might do it. I might do it just for that.
Go ahead.
I actually might wear an LSU jersey.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I have one. Well, no, it's not. It's a purple jersey. It's a purple moss jersey. It's not Thaddeus. It's his dad. But yeah, go pop Hunter Henry in the first and Isaac Tesla in the second and see what the Fayetteville live draft does.
Yeah, I'm trying to win, bro. I'm not doing that.
No, that's the motto of the fishbowl is you're not going to win, so just have fun.
I know, but like I'm gonna try. It's a lot more fun for me to try to win than to like try to be, pro Arkansas.
I don't know. Being bottom 5% last year was about as fun as making the playoffs the previous years. So when you're looking down, when you're scrolling down through 4,300 names and you're like 4,240, it's pretty fun.
I'll take that under advisement, and
that's good content.
I'm probably just gonna try to avoid all Arkansas players. We've got a general idea now of what the happenings are. Completely screwed my draft spot up. I draft from the 9 spot, not the 7. So that's super cool. But I could just go to Delco Dave's team and look at his team.
Yeah. I drafted from the 9 spot. I'm drafting from the 9 spot too in mine. And
I can kind of amalgamate both of you guys' teams over the course of the 2 drafts and just make my own ADP.
Where are you drafting, Dave?
Yeah, I'm drafting from the 9.
No, but are you in slow draft or live?
Live draft. It'll be in Omaha.
Okay, that's right. Omahogs, because they live there. Also, my nephew pitched for UCLA in the College World Series this year.
Awesome! That's a good time, man.
And that night, Garrett Cole took the pitching staff out for dinner at some steakhouse in Omaha that is like pretty high end. And
yeah, there's a couple really good ones out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's Nebraska.
Beef country, yeah.
Beef country. Second only to Berta. Berta beef. Shout out Mike Greinberg. All right, I got to get out of here. I got to go to work. Thank you guys for watching. Next week, we will tell you how everybody has done in their drafts because we will have full teams. You guys probably won't be done because of the 12 rounds of slow. They take about a week or longer.
Hey, spoiler alert. I won my draft.
Already? You haven't even started yet.
That's impressive.
That is impressive.
Listen, I don't have to share all the secrets, okay, of the ooze, but one of the secrets I will share is that I'm probably going to win this draft, okay? Just like I won the one today.
And no. And to finish it out, Jamie says, I just liked and subscribed, so you'll be seeing me more often in the chats. I don't know if that's possible, Jamie. You guys seem intelligent with your analysis. Well, that shows how much you know. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
I like.
From the Podfather to you, I deeply appreciate you tuning in. And many ask, what can I do? What can I do to help support the hosts, the research they do, the production costs? Go to PlayerProfiler.com, Dynasty Deluxe, World Famous Draft Kit, Rankings, DFS Dominator, and of course, data analysis. Subscribe to any one of those, and you support all of us and take Player Profiler to the moon.
All right, I didn't mean to cut you off.